Story time. This is part one of stories I wish I understood sooner about love and healing. I didn't know I was shrinking until somebody asked me this question and I didn't have an answer. And I remember staring at my phone, looking at this question, and realizing that I was super embarrassed. And it wasn't because it was a hard question, but it was because I genuinely did not know anymore. Like I had no answer. I was dating this guy and I thought he was a really great guy, but I didn't realize that the relationship actually at some point put me in a place where my needs became optional. And I started to realize that even in our conversations, my opinions became inconvenient. My emotions, it was always something that I had to work on. I had to manage better. You can imagine that slowly over time, quietly, I had to start adjusting. I had to make sure that he was comfortable more so than myself, even if that meant I was horribly uncomfortable. Like, y'all, I adjusted my tone, I adjusted my expectations, lowered them, and I even had to adjust my honesty. I had to lie to myself, y'all. I had to create a narrative that sacrificed my needs. I told myself that I was being mature and understanding. Really, what I was doing, the truth is, was I was disappearing. I was disappearing and I did not recognize myself. I stopped asking for reassurance because I didn't want to seem needy. I stopped bringing up concerns because I didn't want to start conflict. Y'all, and I think one of the biggest changes was that I stopped sharing parts of myself because I didn't feel like they were welcomed. I didn't feel like they were seen. And then one day I was talking on the phone with one of my friends and she asked me a very, very simple question. And the question was, what do you want? That question really rocked me, y'all, because it was finally about me. It wasn't about what my boyfriend wanted. It wasn't about what was going to keep the peace. It wasn't about what was going to make me easier to love. That was a really hard pill for me to swallow because it made me realize that although he was a great guy and I loved him very much, the relationship had me in survival mode and that I actually did not feel safe. And shout out to my friend for that realization because in that moment, I learned a lesson that love should not require self abandonment, that connection should not cost you your voice. And if you feel that you're becoming smaller to keep someone, just know that that isn't love, it's fear. And if this feels familiar to you and you're the one who's been over adjusting, over accommodating, over explaining, then please hear me and take this with love. You are allowed to take up space. So, yes, if you have lost yourself trying to keep someone, I want to let you know that you are not alone and there are other people out there that know your story. So, make sure you follow for more of my stories about love and healing and share this with somebody else that you know is trying to find themselves.